All right, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakha Kodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings as well as health and wellness to the house of David the elect. As a high spirit way in Judah. And today I want to go into a live stream entitled, Do Not Be Taken in His Pit. Do not be taken in his pit. All right, I'm going to open up with the scripture. Let me see if I can get it right quick. This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 6, King James Version. It says, Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but you have not enough. Ye drink, but you are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. All right. So the reason why I'm going into this live stream is because, you know, we as men of Yahweh Bashma Shai, all right, we have several duties. All right. We have to lead ourselves. If we have a family, lead our families. All right. If you're in a leadership position, lead your camps or whatever men are that you are over. OK, shalom to the brothers and sisters who are tuning in. All right. And ultimately, you have to, once again, hey, lead yourself and you know, you got to give unto E what's E. All right. You have to give unto Caesar what's Caesar, man. All right. And what it is, the reason why I titled this live stream, Do Not Be Taken in This Pit, because this system is like into a pit. All right. So I'm going to get that scripture, Isaiah 51 and 14. And then I'm going to get into the definition of the word pit. Isaiah 51 and 14. It says, The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loose, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread shall fail. Now, ultimately, that pit is America. All right. But if you look up the definition for the word pit, all right, let me get that right quick. All right. All right. The word pit. All right. Shahat, but it says pit, destruction, grave. But then it says pit for catching lions. So really a pit is like an underground trap, man. All right. So America's system is set up to really ensnare the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And one of the ways that you'll get caught up in, all right, post what do you call it, Jim Crow, the modern way of getting caught up in a snare is through debt, man. All right, through debt. All right, through you getting caught up in the prison industrial complex, you getting caught up in the system to where even when you're free, you got that stigma of being a criminal, all right, which in turn keeps you from getting, you know, gainfully employed in a lot of cases. So that's a pit. All right. But wait a minute. Did it not say? Let me get that in the scripture. All right. Because what type of person sets up a pit for animals? All right. A hunter. So did it not say concerning Esau's character? I get that right quick. All right. That he was a cunning hunter. All right. It says, let me get that right quick. Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. All right, so America was set up like a pit, like an underground trap, an underground prison for the nation of Israel. And spiritually speaking, who's the lion that's caught up in the pit? It's the 12 tribes, man. All right. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay. And the brother got a scripture, Psalms 28 and 3, and I'll get it right quick. Psalm chapter 28, verse 3, it says, Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to thy neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. All right. A perfect example of that was those motherfucking peace treaties, man, that was bestowed to our brother Gad, man, and Reuben, in which you kept not one peace treaty, man. All right. But war was in your heart, man. All right. If you, for brothers and sisters who have Netflix, if you ever get a chance, I'm watching a documentary on Netflix called Gather, Gather. Gather. And it breaks down how that boy E, all right, the way he caused mass genocide, one of his steps was to kill off the livelihood of the natives, man. Which one way was to kill off the buffalo. Because you have whole tribes of Gad out there in the Northwest that they were able to be sovereign and able to self-sustain off the buffalo alone. Because guess what? They got their meat from the buffalo. They got their shelter from the buffalo skin. They preserved the meat throughout the winter from the buffalo. All right, so you had whole tribes or whole community, so to speak, within the tribe of Gad, all right, that were able to self-sustain from the buffalo alone. Then you had another tribe or another community within the tribe of Gad that they self-sustained off salmon. All right, and this is recent years where E wanted to cut off them from fishing. Because one thing I noticed about Gad, they'll sustain themselves off of one animal or one fish, and they'll just utilize it for so many different things, man. All right, but E, that boy, all right, that boy E, all right, that cunning hunter, all right, he dried our people out, man, by cutting off their livelihood, which was for some the buffalo, for others the fish. All right, you see, brother got a precept, Proverbs 3:31. All right. See, this system is like a pit. And when you think of a pit, you think of a hole in the ground in which an animal is falling into, man. Proverbs 3:31. All right. Envy not the other oppressor and choose none of his ways. All right. And going back to the live stream, don't get caught up in this modern pit, man, which is debt, you know, and it's easy to do it, man. Child support, you get your check garnished. All right, you getting these personal loans and these credit cards you can't pay off. All right, I experienced that, man. It's a fucking trap, man. Unless you can manage it, but if you can't manage it, it's a trap. And then they start charging you interest on interest. What type of shit is that where they charge you for being broke? All right, so that's a trap, man, to keep you from elevating in this society, man. All right, but that whole thing is to systemically not only oppress the so-called Negro, which is of the Southern Kingdom, but also the so-called Hispanic and Native American, man. Because how is it that you've been on the reservation for all these years and you still hadn't elevated on the res? I mean, you got the casinos, but basically a lot of Gadites are still poor. The alcohol rate high, the suicide rate high. Okay? Because they're in a fucking pit, man. And it just so happens that our national symbol is a lion. Okay? Our national symbol is a lion. But let me see, furthermore, if I can pull that up right quick. You know? Let me see, furthermore, if I could pull that up and see if it'll give me a picture of a pit, man. All right? It says a cavity or a hole in the ground usually made by digging an area set off from and often sunken below surrounding areas, a barbecue pit, a theater's orchestra pit, a small hole or dent on the surface. All right. There you go. That's the pit. That's the spirit, man. That's a pit. All right. You might as well call it the sunken place because we're spiritually in a pit. All right. But that's a pit, man. And you could trap animals like that, but you could trap people like that. Those are prisons. You see, the 12 tribes are spiritually, economically in a fucking pit. You know, I watched little discussions about Jake empowerment and these hypothetical ways Jake can economically resurrect themselves. Well, the scripture says no man shall buy you. But I like, Jake, when they entertain that thought. And basically, you trying to figure out how to get out of this financial pit that we are in a nation, right? Because it's a trap to keep us from being self-sufficient, man. Okay? Because part of the curses pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, let me get that right quick. All right? Let me get that right quick. And I see our brothers got some precepts too. Deuteronomy 28 probably started 37. All right. Showing you that these curses are bestowed upon us. It says, let me see. I started 43 Salak. Deuteronomy 28:43. The stranger that is within thee should get above thee very high. It's about the elites, man. And thou shalt come down very low, so low that you in a damn pit. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. So, hey, but what does it say in the scriptures? The borrower is a slave to the lender. So the fact that you got to get a loan, the fact that you got to get a mortgage for a house, which a mortgage means a pledge. You dead to a pledge. You're indebted to a pledge. All right? When the scriptures tells you, showing you how we in the pit, because a lot of niggas think we not in slavery, that we not in some fucking pit. All right? Sirach 21, I think it's 8. All right? He that, Sirach 21:8. He that builded his house with other men's money is like one that gathered himself stones for the tomb of his burial. Basically, you buying your own funeral. You digging your own grave. So what do? When you get a mortgage, you building your house with other men's money. Who the banker's money? All right, you borrowing a loan from the bank. All right, to pay off pay on a mortgage or a loan. You borrow a loan from the bank to pay on a mortgage, man. Okay? All right? And you using your house as a pledge, all right, to the bank to pay on this loan. Using your house as a pledge, or what do you call it, collateral, all right, using your house as collateral, all right, to pay on this loan to the bank, man. Okay? And that's part of that yoke of iron that the brother just put up. You know, at first it was a literal yoke of iron. Now it's a financial yoke of iron. Child support is a yoke of iron, man. Student loans, okay? But also being a wage slave. You working just to fucking be broke, man. And that's what I'm telling brothers through the spirit. Don't let this shit conquer you. Because the scripture says that, you know, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh. But you should also not get caught up in the system to where now you can't teach because, you get your car repossessed or you got the eviction notice on your house or they want to lock you up for this, for negligence with this payment. Nah, don't get caught up in the pit, man. All right. Because you still have to teach and live and feed yourself, man. Okay. Yeah. He taxed you to death, man. Sometimes I hate even looking at how much I made before taxes. What's the fucking point? You know, you get your check and you find out how much you make, but then he takes a big chunk of that, man. Where is that in the scriptures, man? Scriptures tell you not the exact usury upon your brethren, man. Okay? But let me see if I can pull up this word pledge in the scriptures. All right? Pledg, because pledge is basically collateral. All right. Let's see, because it's actually in the law. Let me see, Exodus 22 and 25. It says, if thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer or a taxer. Neither should thou lay upon him usury or interest. All right. So when you lend to your people, all right, you're not supposed to charge interest on whatever you lend that person, man. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment, which is his clothing, to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him. Thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down. For that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? So if you can't use, if you have a time limit to use your neighbor's clothing for collateral, how much more his house? Because it does the same thing. It covers shame. For that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? it shall come to pass when he crieth unto me that I will hear, for I am gracious. All right? And showing you, let me get that scripture right quick. All right? Showing you that your house, all right, is part of your clothing. All right? Sirach 29 and 21. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. But then we just read the scripture where it says a man's raiment covered shame, and he shouldn't use his raiment or his clothing as collateral or a pledge after sundown. So how much more a house? You're not supposed to use your house as collateral, all right, for the banks, all right, if they give you a loan, all right? That's in the scriptures. And they're saying it's like you digging your own grave. Okay? But that's part of the fucking pit. Because the elite set up this country for not only the 12 tribes, but the heathen in this country to be ensnared in a financial pit. It's the new form of slavery, man. All right? Let me get that scripture once again. Sirach 21. All right? Sirach 21 and 8 again. All right? He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathered himself stones for the tomb of his burial. All right? See, it's another one. Sirach 21 and 5. A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reacheth to the ears of Yahweh, and his judgment cometh speedily. All right? Now, who's the poor man? Well, you heard about the parable of the rich man Lazarus, right? All right? So we're the poor man, okay? We're the poor man, and we have a prayer coming out of our mouth because we're sighing and crying for the abominations in this place. But the elect of the 12 tribes, we represent that poor man, all right? And now that we know his name, hey, it pierced the clouds, man, okay? It pierced the clouds, but we're that poor man, okay? And we're complaining because we're inside of a pit, all right? And you've seen a picture of the pit, right? But now we're crying to Yahweh Bashar Shai to deliver us out of that pit, all right? To deliver us out of that pit, man. All right? Looking for that parable, all right? Yeah. There was a certain rich man, all right? And I'm sorry, I said rich man Lazarus, but I meant to say the beggar named Lazarus. All right, but we're that beggar named Lazarus, man. But we cry to Yahweh Bashar Shai while we're in this pit, man. Okay? All right? We're crying to Yahweh Bashar Shai. We're that poor man. But as it says in Sirach, a prayer out of a poor man's mouth. So we're inside the pit, all right, crying to Yahweh Bashar Shai to deliver us out of this pit, man. You know? But let me get that last scripture that I had. Was it Haggai 1 and 6. Going back to this damn pit. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. You clothe, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag of holes. But hey, the water for you brothers and sisters tapping into this live stream. Hope you brothers and sisters was edified. All right, once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashar Shai, Bashar Kakodash, double honor to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness at the house of David the elect.